Welcome to Concorso Italiano.
When you come to Concorso, you walk up to the gate, you present your ticket, and all of a sudden this world starts to unfold. It's special because you don't get to walk on a golf course very often, particularly with exotic Italian cars everywhere you can see.
Coming here, it's the ultimate concours event for Italian cars. You see a lot, not just Ferraris. Of course, we're probably the majority, but you see an awful lot of Alfas, you see a lot of Lancias, you see a lot of Maserati, Lamborghini, all of the premier marks from Italian cars. My name's Nick Sten. The car is a 1987 Ferrari Testarossa. Supercar of the 80s, I guess you'd call it.
Hi, I'm Ian McLean, and this is a 2001 BMW Z8. I love sports cars, but unfortunately at 6'4", most of them don't fit me, and the Z8 does just barely.
I'm Eric Sander. I work for the Auto Gallery in Los Angeles, California. This is a 1969 365 GTC. It was painted about 20 years ago. It had some mechanical restoration done about 6 or 7 years ago.
The newest car the Lamborghini ever produced in its 45 years of history. And it's the Lamborghini Aventador LP700-4. When you open your door, you will be giving your signature.
Welcome to the 26th edition of Concorso Italiano. I'm Tom McDowell, president of Concorso Italiano. This year we are planning a great event, but leading up to this event, we've realized that we outgrew the old location. We're still at Laguna Seca Golf Ranch, but we moved around the corner a little bit to a larger area. We can include the more cars and the spectators that we've been getting, and it's not going to be nearly as crowded this year because we have so much more real estate available. It's been a great change, and the layout behind us is just spectacular. And we're finding that we're getting already, we haven't even started the show yet, but we're getting great feedback from the vendors and sponsors, so we're very excited about that. We took a gamble this year. We sort of rolled the dice, and one of the things that's always fascinated me is the stories behind barn finds. And sometimes the stories can be just as interesting as the cars. So what we've decided to celebrate this year is originals and barn finds. And originals are cars that are, for the most part, untouched cosmetically since the car was new. And our oldest original, I think, is a 1952 Ferrari. Our most current original is something from 1972. So here we are, closing on the newest original we have is about 40 years old. We're pretty excited about that. And some great stories, just fascinating stories behind the barn finds. Over my shoulder, you can certainly see the Ferrari flag. We've got all of the Italian marks. We've got Lamborghini's going to have a presence here. We've got Fiat, of course, that's our presenting sponsor. They're going to be introducing us to the 500 and the 500C. Maserati has their new models that they're going to be showing. And I mentioned Lamborghini. They're going to be introducing the new Aventador, a cutting-edge car. It's really taking car technology another 2 steps forward. It's going to be a lot of fun. And we've got some other surprises as well, including a hybrid that's never been seen in North America called the Kepler Motion. What we try to do at Concorso is make it a family-friendly event. What we're trying to do is encourage people to bring out their children and generate a new generation of car guys and car gals. And to that end, even within our staff, we have my family, my extended family. I've got nieces, grandnieces. Our staff brings out their husbands, their kids, and we're all out here helping, and it becomes very much a family event, and we try to foster that. We really encourage people to bring out their kids and enjoy the event. When we started with Concorso is a 26-year-old event, by the way, the show had sort of lost some of its soul. And we were hearing, when I acquired the event and the company to try to rebuild that soul, I didn't realize how badly frayed it was. I really underestimated that. So after our first year, just moving back to a golf course was a major step, and we got rave reviews, and of course a few people poked at us too. But that's always going to happen. But what we like is that we get honest feedback, and it tells us people are emotionally invested. They care about the event. And the biggest compliment we've gotten is, it's just like the old days. And it's gratifying to hear that. What we've also noticed is the Italians are coming back. And when they're coming back, we know we've been largely successful at restoring Concorso's soul. In addition to the Italian cars, we have what we call the Corral, which is our non-Italian cars, and BMWs. We always have a nice presence of BMWs. Happens to be some of my wife's favorite cars. There's MGs, there's Citroens, there's Porsches, Mercedes. There is a nice selection for those who get a little tired of the red red or maybe some of the rainbow colors of Lamborghini, they can head on over to the corral and see some great other cars. When you come to Concorso, you walk up to the gate, you present your ticket, you walk through the gate, and all of a sudden this world starts to unfold. It starts out with red because the Ferraris are the first thing you're going to see, and Ferraris are predominantly red, but then all of a sudden you get past the red and the event really expands. It's just, before you, it's all there. And you have all of the marks, the Maseratis, the Alfa Romeos, and the Lamborghinis, but more importantly, it's special, because you don't get to walk on a golf course very often, particularly with exotic Italian cars everywhere you can see. And there are plenty of sponsors and vendors with their products and their wares that you can look at, but it's all the cars. And when you see that unfold, it's just eye candy, it's a treat, and it's something that you call it a Kodak moment, and there's so many Kodak moments you're going to see tomorrow. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you for coming by to Concorso. I hope you had a wonderful day.
Closed captioning provided.
Welcome to Concorso Italiano.
My name's Nick Sten. This is a 1987 Ferrari Testarossa, and we're at Concorso Italiano. I've probably been coming to Concorso about, I'd say, 6 or 7 years. Coming here, it's the ultimate concours event for Italian cars. You see a lot, not just Ferraris, but of course, we're probably the majority, but you see an awful lot of Alfas, you see a lot of Lancias, you see a lot of Maserati, Lamborghini, all of the premier marks from Italian cars are here, and they're well represented. They're all nice cars, they're cleaned up, the setting is nice. It's probably my favorite event of the year as far as concours go. This particular car, I'm probably the third owner, best I can tell. The original owner of this car was Sam Walton, the guy that built Walmart. It's a 1987 Testarossa. It's a mid-engine, 12-cylinder, puts out about 400 horsepower, 5-speed gearbox, top speed's 180. Very comfortable car to drive, just a lot of fun. It's got about 22,000 miles on it. It's in very good shape, and we just try to keep it that way. I've just been doing it all my life, really. I think I'm on my 5th Corvette convertible. I've had a Pantera. I've had a Porsche slant-nose turbo, a couple others, a Rolls-Royce I had for a while, about 5 years. And it's just my main interest. I just like cars. I like fast ones, slow ones, big ones, little ones, just a little bit of everything. I just enjoy cars. Cars in Ferrari Testarossa. Supercar of the 80s, I guess you'd call it. This one has the center lock wheels. Most, instead of the 5 lugs, it has the strakes on the side, which allow the air to get into the radiators, which cool the engine. The interior is very comfortable. Air conditioning that actually works in a Ferrari, which is a novelty, and a ton of leather. This car has a 5-liter, 12-cylinder engine, 4 valves per cylinder, produces 400 horsepower. It has a 5-speed gearbox, and the top speed's 180 miles an hour.
I'm Ian McLean. I've got a 2001 Z8. Bought it new, just a little over 10 years. Been to Concorso a number of times with it. Usually have a good time and hook up with some of my other friends with the Z8s and come see all the Italian cars. Try to spread our time around. There's a lot of events here, you know, during the week, but I got a lot of friends with Ferraris and other stuff, so we come down, have a good party, put out a big spread of wine and cheese, and I think Concorso does just a great job, and you know, it's nice of them to give us a place to bring cars other than Italian cars. But you know, the Z8, even though it's a German car, it really can't be characterized as a German car. It was originally sort of based on the 507, and the 507 was never really a German car. You know, it was made for the American market. It was really made to compete with the Italian cars and the British cars of the time. So it really has, I think, a lot of influence of the classic lines that you get from the Italian cars. And there's only so many 430s you want to look at, and 360s and 355s, but they're all cool, they're all nice, and you know, you come across the interesting stuff and the rare stuff and the beautiful stuff. Great time to sort of oogle the cars, talk specs and history, and hang out with your friends and have a glass of wine and enjoy the sun and get away from the kids and the work, and what's wrong with that, you know? I'm Ian McLean, and this is a 2001 BMW Z8. It's got some pretty unique vintage styling with a really modern drivetrain, modern drivability, and great handling. It's got a 400 horsepower V8. I've changed a few things. The grille's a little different color. I've upgraded the wheels and suspension a little bit over the years. I've had it for 10 years now. So the thing I really love is just the classic looks, the graceful lines. You know, it is all aluminum, so it really follows that history and that heritage of what a sports car and the history of a sports car should be. Clearly a two-seater. I've also upgraded to oversized Brembo brakes, recently done. Super lightweight HRE wheels that saved me about 20 pounds a corner. It is a classic two-seater. The top really rarely goes up. I prefer never to have to use it. I had to put the hard top on once just because the racetrack required it, and it was raining, and it was Laguna Seca. Pretty unusual thing here in the interior is you'll notice that the gauges are not in front of the steering wheel, which is pretty rare. They're actually in the center of the car. It's a pretty interesting situation at night when you're looking forward. There really isn't any light in front of you, so it kind of feels different. And also, one of the big factors for this car, I love sports cars, but unfortunately at 6'4", most of them don't fit me, and the Z8 does just barely. You know, it kind of took me back to the old days with the muscle cars and the, you know, where you really feel like there's something alive underneath you. It's got a lot of personality, a lot of character, and it fit, and it was beautiful, and it, you know, it kind of just checked all the boxes, and that's my Z8.
Closed captioning provided by
I'm Eric Sander. I work for the Auto Gallery in Los Angeles, California. I handle classic vintage Ferraris. It's a 1969 365 GTC. It's a 5-owner car. It was owned by Doc Severinsen at one time. He used to be Johnny Carson's band leader. So it's currently owned by Harold Williams of Moore Park, California. And he's a collector of cars and he really enjoys cars, and it's one of his favorites. And we've done some minor restorations of the car. It's been previously restored. But he does drive it, he enjoys it, and we bring it here to show today, and hopefully we'll win a prize. It's a 4.4-liter V12, single overhead cam, twin distributors, 12-cylinder. Has about 340 horsepower. Does 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds. It drives wonderful. 5-speed transaxle. Ferrari pioneered the transaxle design. It has a front engine, rear transmission, and rear axle combined. This is a 1969 365 GTC. It was painted about 20 years ago, and it had some mechanical restoration done about 6 or 7 years ago. Suspension, and a lot of cleanup. The engine's recently been serviced. Some slight modifications to the valve train, but as you can see, it's very clean. It's in nearly showroom condition, maybe a little cleaner. There's 3 4-barrel carburetors, 2 6-cylinder distributors. It has manual steering, so no power assist, but it's not too bad. It has a huge radiator because it's a 4.4-liter engine, and a nice big battery to turn it over when you want to start it. Take a look at the interior. The interior is in beautiful condition. Has a little bit of patina to it, but not so much that it's worn out or it needs to be restored. Has a vintage Becker radio, and once again, in fantastic shape. So this is the last of the Coupe series Ferraris of this body style. They went to this style after that, which is significantly different. It says the largest engine. That basically has the same engine, but actually it has double overhead cams as opposed to single overhead cams. They got a little bit more torque and a little more horsepower. Overall drivability, this car drives fantastic.
My name is Pietro Frigerio. I'm a general manager of Lamborghini Newport Beach. I've been here for over a year. I've been with Lamborghini actually for 10 years of my life. First in Italy and then in the US for Lamborghini America. So I know Lamborghini and the brand and the products pretty well. And that's why we also choose to come here at Concorso, because it's a very enthusiastic place. It's passion. And that's what Lamborghini is all about. It's passion, enthusiasm, extreme product. Such as extreme as what we have today. We're one of the best and the newest car the Lamborghini ever produced in its 45 years of history. And it's the Lamborghini Aventador LP700-4. And it's a whole new concept for Lamborghini. It's a whole new history for Lamborghini. New technology, and it's probably the new benchmark in this category of cars. It's 700 horsepower, 0 to 62 in 2.9 seconds, and over 217 miles per hour top speed. It's new technology, it's carbon fiber technology chassis, which studied and developed together with Boeing. So here we are really in aerospace technology. Keeps the all-wheel drive system. That's been characteristics for over 20 years at Lamborghini. When you have a lot of power, you need a lot of traction. And also, as interesting features, you have all digital TFT display for your cockpit, so you really feel like you're flying, actually you're driving a jet fighter. And that makes it a completely, really interesting experience. It's fast, it's quick, has the look to kill, and us as Lamborghini Newport Beach, we're very proud to be here. We have a wonderful booth, we have a lot of attention, thanks to the car, but also thanks to the passion that we transmit to our clients and customers. People are relaxed and out, and everybody will be warm, and you just spend a nice day out. That's what is important to us. It's not just we're a business, we have to sell a car. Yes, that's part of our business, but the business is made on a relationship, and this is a wonderful place for a relationship. I'm very proud to introduce you the Lamborghini LP700 Aventador. 2012, just arrived from Italy, and an extreme car in every sense. Italian and compromising is what Lamborghini is all about. And here we have the exact physical vehicle. It's $400,000 for 700 horsepower. From every side has a new aspect, new technology, new power, and everything that can be considered Italian and compromising and extreme. Extreme, you see the design, very edgy. It's interesting enough, studied together with Boeing for the carbon fiber, but the design itself looks like a jet fighter, and that's what's the beauty of this vehicle. Also has the typical scissor doors from Lamborghini, and I'll show you. When you show up with Lamborghini, not only you have a presence, when you open your door, you will be giving your signature that you have arrived. And then you have obviously a very futuristic and extreme interior. It's like really sitting in a jet fighter. You have a completely digital cockpit looking at you, giving you all the information. But it's also very, very safe. The whole construction is in carbon fiber. There is a chassis, tubular chassis, carbon cell in carbon fiber. And then the axles and the suspensions are attached to the vehicle in a way that it makes it very, very extreme. Last detail, little things. You have a rear view camera, something very unusual on a car which is made to go as fast as possible, but also safe. An exhaust system which gives you all the indication that all the power is here.
Closed captioning provided by
Welcome to the Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. When the judges are with the cars, they go into every fine detail.